The days following the purification of the ley lines were filled with a renewed sense of hope and determination. Lyra, Niamh, and the Guardians had achieved a monumental victory. But they knew the battle was far from over. The Shadow Sovereign had been pushed back, but his presence still lingered, a dark cloud on the horizon of Eloria's future. In the heart of Viridian, the villagers worked tirelessly to strengthen their defenses and prepare for any future attacks. Lyra and Niamh, now recognized as the protectors of Eloria, led the efforts, training the villagers in both combat and the use of ancient forest magic. The Guardians continued to offer their wisdom and guidance, ensuring that everyone was ready for the challenges ahead. One evening, as Lyra and Niamh were discussing their next steps, a sudden chill filled the air. The sky darkened, and an unnatural silence fell over the village. Lyra felt a familiar, ominous presence. "The Shadow Sovereign," she whispered, her eyes narrowing with determination. As if in response to her words, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a tall, hooded being, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. "You have disrupted my plans," the figure hissed. "But this is far from over. The darkness is eternal, and I will return." Before Lyra or Niamh could react, the figure vanished, leaving behind an unsettling feeling of dread. They knew this was a warning, a sign that the Shadow Sovereign was preparing for another assault. Determined to find a way to permanently rid Eloria of this ancient evil, Lyra and Niamh decided to seek out the oldest and wisest being in the forest, the Oracle of Eloria. The Oracle was said to possess knowledge of all that had ever transpired in the forest and could offer insight into defeating the Shadow Sovereign once and for all. Their journey took them to the deepest part of the forest, a place where the trees were so ancient that their branches formed a natural cathedral, their leaves whispering secrets of the ages. At the center of this sacred grove stood the Oracle, a towering figure made entirely of intertwining vines and roots, its eyes glowing with a soft emerald light. "Welcome, protectors of Eloria," the Oracle said, its voice resonating with the wisdom of millennia. "I have been expecting you." Lyra stepped forward, her heart filled with hope and determination. "Oracle, we need your guidance. The Shadow Sovereign threatens our home, and we must find a way to stop it permanently." The Oracle regarded them for a moment, its eyes seeming to peer into their very souls. "The Shadow Sovereign is a being of pure darkness, born from the very essence of chaos and destruction. To defeat it, you must harness the power of light and unity. The celestial crystal is a key, but it is not enough on its own." Niamh furrowed her brow. "What more do we need, Oracle?" "You must gather the relics of the ancient guardians," the Oracle replied. "These relics, when combined with the celestial crystal, will amplify its power and create a force strong enough to banish the Shadow Sovereign forever. The relics are scattered across Eloria, hidden in places of great significance to the forest." Lyra and Niamh exchanged determined glances. "We will find these relics," Lyra said, her voice unwavering. "For Eloria." The Oracle nodded. "Beware, for the Shadow Sovereign will not stand idly by as you gather these relics. It will do everything in its power to stop you. Trust in your bond with the forest and with each other. Only together can you succeed." With a new sense of purpose, Lyra and Niamh set out to find the relics. Their first destination was the ancient ruins of Eldoria, a once great city now overgrown and reclaimed by the forest. According to the Oracle, the relic of Eloria, the Wind Whisperer, was hidden within the highest tower of the ruins. As they approached Eldoria, the air grew thick with magic, both light and dark. The ruins were a labyrinth of crumbling stone and twisted vines, but Lyra's connection to the forest guided them. They climbed the tower, feeling the presence of the relic growing stronger with each step. At the top of the tower, they found a pedestal with a delicate, wind-carved feather glowing with a faint blue light. "This must be the relic of Eloria," Lyra said, carefully picking it up. As she did, a surge of wind magic filled the room, and she felt a renewed connection to the guardian of the skies. Their next stop was the Crystal Caverns, where the relic of Thalor, the stone sentinel, was said to be hidden. The journey to the caverns was treacherous, filled with traps and dark creatures sent by the Shadow Sovereign. But Lyra and Neve, with their combined strength and the guidance of the forest, pressed on. Deep within the caverns, they found a massive crystal imbued with earth magic. Embedded in the crystal was a stone carved with intricate runes, glowing with a deep, earthy light. "The relic of Thalor," Neve whispered as they extracted the stone from the crystal. The ground beneath them rumbled, and they felt the power of the earth coursing through their veins. Their final destination was the moonlit glade where Silphira's relic was hidden. The glade was a serene, otherworldly place, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. In the center of the glade, they found a pool of shimmering water, and at its heart, a silver lotus flower. As Lyra reached for the flower, the water parted, revealing a crystal vial filled with glowing silvery liquid. "The essence of Silphara," she said, carefully taking the vial. The light of the moon seemed to grow brighter, and they felt a soothing, healing energy envelop them. With all three relics in their possession, Lyra and Neve returned to the heart of Eloria. There, they placed the relics around the celestial crystal, forming a circle of power. As they did, the crystal's light intensified, creating a radiant beacon that pierced through the darkness. The Shadow Sovereign, sensing the threat, launched its final assault. The ground trembled, and the sky darkened as the ancient evil appeared before them, more powerful and menacing than ever. "You cannot win!" the Shadow Sovereign roared, its voice echoing with fury. Lyra stood tall, her staff glowing with the combined power of the relics and the celestial crystal. "We fight for Eloria, for its light and life. You will not prevail." With a surge of energy, Lyra channeled the power of the relics through the celestial crystal, directing a beam of pure light at the Shadow Sovereign. The darkness screamed and writhed, but the light was relentless, pushing it back and tearing it apart. As the light grew brighter, the Shadow Sovereign let out one final agonized scream before dissolving into nothingness. The darkness lifted, and the forest was bathed in a warm golden light. Exhausted but victorious, Lyra and Neve collapsed at the base of the ancient tree. The guardians appeared before them, their expressions filled with pride and gratitude. "You have done it," Thalor said, his voice filled with warmth. "Eloria is safe, thanks to your bravery and unity." The forest seemed to hum with life, the trees swaying gently as if in celebration. Lyra and Neve knew that while the battle was won, their duty as protectors of Eloria would continue. The balance of the forest was delicate, and they would remain vigilant, ready to defend their home against any threat. And so, with the guardians by their side and the strength of the forest within them, Lyra and Neve stood ready to face the future, knowing that together they could overcome any darkness and ensure that the light of Eloria would shine for generations to come.